Okay, so here's a rule of thumb about life. Never make your World Cup predictions 6 months before the tournament starts like I did, because so much changes over that time, and then you just look like an idiot for saying stuff that isn't relevant anymore. Yeah, me looking like an idiot. That never happens. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna preview and predict every group all over again, starting with Group A. And if you watching at home, most likely on the toilet, pick the right order of Group A in the comments, you will, at the very least, get some Warmballers stickers, but you could also win a Warmballers starters kit. So is that cool with everyone? I hope that's a yes. So here's what I predicted back in December for Group A. Uruguay in first, Egypt in second, Russia in third, and Saudi Arabia in fourth. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure if that's all gonna change that much, but maybe. I don't know. Possibly, because what is Saudi Arabia really going to do in this tournament? Especially as a team that all the others in Group A think they're going to get an easy 3 points off of. I mean, the last time they won a World Cup game was in 1994, and the last time they qualified was in 2006 when I was playing in it. So as much as I have total respect for their players, including one of the most respected playmakers in all of Asia, Nawaf Al-Abed, he just got left off the team. But they do have Fahad Al-Muwallad, the speedy winger who scored the goal that sent Saudi Arabia to the World Cup. However, he went on loan to Levante in January and then never played a minute, so that can't be all that good for his confidence. But with that said, during the last international break, he did score the only goal in their 1-1 draw with Ukraine, so who knows? Maybe he'll be up for it. But even if he is, and even if the whole team is up for it, will it even matter? They sacked 2 managers since they qualified, but maybe that means the players will hold themselves more accountable because, fun fact for you, in my first year as a pro in the 2nd division in this country, our manager left us to take another job after 16 games, and I believe it was in Hungary. And the club didn't hire anyone else because they couldn't afford it. So the super underqualified assistants, who were more like used car salesmen than actual coaches, and us players took it upon ourselves to hold each other accountable, and we won 18 out of the next 20 games and made it to the semifinals of our playoffs, losing to the eventual champions by 1 goal. So I don't know, maybe it will make the Saudi Arabians stronger as a team too, but you still have to have the talent to back it up. And they have some, but I'm not sure they have enough to compete with everyone else. So yeah, they're gonna finish in fourth. So let's talk next about who I thought was finishing in third, and that's the host Russia, because like Saudi Arabia, they've only won 2 games ever in their history at a World Cup. 2! And that's not including when they were called the USSR. So even though they have a crazy bastard as their manager who left off some of the best Russian players from his World Cup roster because those players think he's a clown, I still, for whatever reason, have decided that there's just no way that they're not gonna get out of this group, which is a really terrible grammatical double negative way of saying that I now believe that they will get out of their group. And mainly because they're the hosts, so I think they're gonna find a way to make it happen. And they have the best order of the draw of the group games too. They play Saudi Arabia first, so they gotta get all 3 points there. That is a must. And Egypt will probably lose to Uruguay in their first match, so Russia will have created a 3-point gap over their biggest competitors for second. And then they're gonna play Egypt next, so they gotta get a draw there. And then they play Uruguay while potentially having 4 points, while Uruguay could already have 6. So Uruguay could rest some guys, and it all somehow works in Russia's favor, which reminds me of when I played in the Copa America, and we had Argentina, Colombia, and Paraguay in our group, and we had to play Argentina first. And we got smoked and never really recovered from that beatdown. Now, had we started with Paraguay or Colombia, I'm convinced that we could have gotten out of our group because we were more at their level at that time. I'm talking about Colombia and Paraguay, definitely not Argentina. And getting points early in the group stages always helps with confidence. Anyway, enough of the reminiscing about one of the biggest losses in my career. Let's talk about Egypt and Mohamed Salah, who's in such good form, he seems to be destined to do something special at this tournament. Well, he was in good form until Sergio Ramos got a hold of him. But given the magnitude of his country qualifying for the tournament for the first time in 28 years, I'm sure he and his teammates are going to be up for it. However, given how their Argentine manager Hector Cooper sets them up, which is, if you can believe this, more conservative and defensive than anything Jose Mourinho tries to do, and which relies heavily on Mohamed Salah's athleticism and ability after they boot long balls out of the back and hope for the best as their primary mode of attack, it's a bit of a surprise that they've qualified for this tournament and got got to the final of the most recent African Cup of Nations, but it seems to work for them. Until it doesn't, because they have some gaping holes due to current form or injuries at the outside back position, uncertainty as to who will start in some others, like a goalkeeper. I mean, they might start a 45-year-old in goal, which sounds kind of rad, but also kind of risky, and up top in the number 9 spot, and frankly, they just don't have much depth. So as much as I would love for Egypt and Mohamed Salah in particular to tear it up and do well, I just don't think they have the manager or players to execute at as high a level as Salah and the country needs to be successful and to get out of their group. So I'm switching things up and saying that Egypt's going to finish in 3rd. And finally, let's talk a little Uruguay. Because as everyone knows, this is their group to lose. They have the best players in almost every position out of all the teams in the group, minus wherever Mohamed Salah lines up for Egypt. They have experience, depth, and the motivation to do well, since if they win their group, they will most likely avoid playing Spain in the round of 16. And we can't discount the fact that this is most definitely the last World Cup for their 3 best players, Diego Godin, Luis Suarez, and Edinson Cavani, who are all on the wrong side of 30 years old. So you know they're going to throw everything that they have at it. Also, keep an eye on young playmaker Georgian de Arrascaeta, who was recently named as the best non-Brazilian in the Brazilian League after dominating things with his great feet and passing with Cruzeiro. And I really feel like he could be a breakout star if Uruguay makes a deep run in the tournament. So in summation, I'm making one change to my original prediction, but only because I believe that Russia's home field advantage will give them the slight edge over Egypt. So I have it as Saudi Arabia in 4th, Egypt in 3rd, Russia in 2nd, and Uruguay in 1st. So do you agree or disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments along with your order of finish, and if you get it exactly right, some Warmballer stuff is coming your way. Also, I'll see you tomorrow for Group B. Later.